A woman was sleeping at 10,000 meters high. Suddenly, she started sliding downward. The woman sensed the danger. She woke up instantly. However, it was too late. She could only let her body fall uncontrollably. Not long after, the woman woke up again. But in front of her were thick layers of clouds. She quickly sat up, grabbing the rope in terror. The woman hurriedly called for help from her boyfriend in the basket. However, there was no response. Worse still, the woman began to lose strength, and her hands started to ache. To save herself, the woman desperately swung her legs, using her body's momentum to get closer to the basket bit by bit. After repeated efforts, she finally touched the basket. She then kicked her legs forcefully, pushing her body far outward. As the rope swung back, the woman seized the opportunity to grab the basket, clinging tightly to its edge. Only then did the woman notice that her boyfriend in the basket had already passed out. The woman immediately realized something was wrong. Using all her strength, she climbed into the basket and anxiously crawled toward her boyfriend. She called out to him repeatedly, but he didn't respond at all. The woman sank into deep despair. Shockingly, her boyfriend seemed to hear her calls and miraculously opened his eyes. The woman was immediately relieved. They had been trapped for a full 72 hours. The valve had frozen, causing the hot air balloon to keep rising. To make matters worse, her boyfriend started to struggle with breathing. The woman then made a crazy decision. She slowly climbed out of the basket, beginning to climb upward. But before she could stabilize herself, her foot slipped, almost causing her to fall. Yet the woman didn't give up and continued her slow ascent. Her frozen hands forced her to rely on her arms to wrap around the rope ladder, struggling to climb upward. After an unknown amount of time, the woman finally managed to reach the surface of the hot air balloon. When she looked up, she was shocked by the scene in front of her. The balloon's surface was covered in frost. The steep slope left no room for error. Soon, she encountered a problem. The nearby rope was too far away, making it impossible to grasp. Her left hand was about to let go. Just as she was about to grab it, her left hand slipped. The woman was instantly left hanging upside down, causing her consciousness to fade. As she was about to pass out, she caught sight of her boyfriend in the basket. The woman snapped back to consciousness, summoning all her strength to grab the nearby rope. With sheer determination, she continued to climb toward the top. The distance of less than 10 meters felt like an eternity to her. After what seemed like forever, the woman finally reached the top of the balloon. The freezing temperature had left her body covered in thick frost. Her limbs were numb from the cold. She thought success was within reach, but the valve was firmly frozen. No matter how hard she tried, the valve wouldn't budge. Having come so far, the woman refused to give up. She struggled to stand, lifting her foot to kick the valve. After several kicks, the valve finally opened. A large amount of gas spewed out, causing the woman to tremble. But she couldn't afford to waste any time. She quickly used her foot to block the gap, then pulled out a knife to cut all her shoelaces. At that moment, her consciousness began to blur. Even so, the woman relied on her unyielding willpower to force her shoes into the gap bit by bit. After completing the task, the woman couldn't hold on any longer and collapsed on the hot air balloon. Fortunately, the valve was successfully opened, and the hot air balloon began to descend slowly.